production of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
The 1-2. Breaking ball out toward left field. Hogging the line. This one's got a chance to go. Gone! Big fly for Albert Pujols. Number 600.
High fly deep down the left field line. There it is. And there he is. Albert Pujols, the 9th member of Major League Baseball's 600 home run club.
History was made last night in Anaheim, California, as Albert Pujols became just the 9th player in baseball to ever hit 600 home runs, but the first to do so in Grand Slam fashion. Today, the focus shifts from an established veteran to a young talent as Minnesota sends Jose Barrios to the mound. The Twins look to take the series in today's Game 4 finale, coming your way from Angel Stadium. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. Welcome to another beautiful day for baseball in Anaheim, California, everyone. I'm Audra Martin. The Twins hope to get another great road win today against the Angels, but no matter what happens here at Angel Stadium, it'll be hard to top what happened all around baseball yesterday in what was a very exciting day for the game. The historic day began in Miami as Marlins righty Edinson Volquez tossed the first no-hitter of the season, a 98-pitch, 10-strikeout gem against the Arizona Diamondbacks. From there, it was all about offense. Not one, not two, but a whopping 7 grand slams were crushed yesterday, the most ever in a single day, breaking the record of 6 that was set 17 years ago. The biggest of the night came right here in Anaheim with the bases loaded and his former teammate on the mound. Albert Pujols joined the elite 600 home run club with a towering shot just inside the left field pole. Now upstairs, Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven join us from the booth. Two guys who have had the honor of calling the last 2 instances where players have joined the 600 home run club. Guys, it's quite an honor, and it must have been an exciting night.
Well, it's just been our pleasure to be able to share that with Twins fans. I think I can speak for you. From the time I was a little boy, I had a great appreciation for baseball history, and to be able to witness it again last night, something even Harmon Killebrew wasn't able to reach the 600 home run mark, was pretty special.
Yeah, you know what, if you're a Twins fan, you really enjoyed the one prior to it last night when Jim Thome in Detroit hit .599, and then his next at-bat, a 600 home run swing for Jim Thome in last night's ball game. If you're an Angels fan, if you're a baseball fan, how about Albert Pujols? Grand Slam home run number 600. First time a 600 home run has been hit when there's been 3 guys on base. So congratulations to both those individuals. They're very classy men too, so you're especially happy for them.
And one of the beauties of baseball, there's a game the next day. Something bad happens, there's a game the next day. Something great happens, there's a game the next day, and Jose Barrios is going to make the start for the Twins here today.
Yeah, he's been pitching outstanding. He's coming off his shortest start in the last start, but this is only his 5th start. He's never faced the Angels before. It's going to be important for Jose to establish that good fastball. Then the big sweeping breaking ball. Hopefully he's on here this afternoon.
And a familiar mound opponent pitching for the Angels this afternoon, former Twin Ricky Nolasco. It'll be the right-hander Nolasco against the right-hander Barrios as we wrap up this 4-game series.
number 600 over and over again. Some of the best of the night. Angels broadcasters Mark Rojas and Mark Gubas are leaning, wondering if it's going to be history. Sure enough, it was. Or how about Albert Pujols' son on hand? AJ up in the stands just behind home plate with his camera rolling as he gets to watch his dad make history with that historic number 600 home run. And if fans, well, if they had a phone on them, it was likely out and rolling on camera mode. Check out this great video down the right field line. But the best of the night comes from Jeffrey on YouTube. Probably thinks he has a chance of catching the historic home run ball, but it bounces just a few feet over from him. Of course, melee ensues, but it was 23-year-old Scott Steffert who ended up with the home run ball. And we just found out from the Angels that he didn't want anything in return, just wanted to be able to present it to his favorite player. He did get a signed jersey, a signed box of baseballs, and they're going to bring him back to a game with all of his friends and family and let them down on the field for batting practice so he can once again say hi to Albert Pujols.
Well, quite a night and a lot of different perspectives that were interesting, and it was fun to be a part of it last night.
There really was.
Brian Dozier will lead things off as we get set for the final game of this 4-game series. The Twins winning the first two, the Angels getting last night, and Dozier swings and misses on the first pitch.
Yeah, the only negative, if you're a Twins fan, Twins ended up losing 7-2 to the Angels in last night's ball game, but they won the first two and looking to win the fourth here in this 4-game series.
Off the plate, 1-1. Dozier, Grossman, and Mauer, and then the Twins hope a few more here in the first inning.
And the guy on the mound looked familiar. Ricky Nolasco making his 12th start in his first full season with the Angels.
For strike two.
Of course, last year with the Minnesota Twins, then traded over to the Angels.
It's a lighter, trimmer Ricky Nolasco than the versions we saw year in and year out for parts of 3 years. Off the plate, 2-2.
He's coming off the shortest start so far this year. His last start coming against the Braves here. He went only 2 2/3 innings, gave up 6 earned runs. Over the last couple ball games, he's given up a total of 11 runs in 8 2/3 innings.
And he didn't give up a home run. That's about the only thing that went right for him in that start. But he's given up 16 in just over 60 innings. The Menards batting order has Dozier, Grossman, and Mauer, Sano, Kepler, Escobar, Rosario, Adrianza, and Castro. 2-2 to Brian Dozier to get things started here this afternoon.
Beautiful afternoon here in Southern California.
And Dozier got one up and he swung through it.
Well, and one thing Nolasco has is that big, slow curveball with that tight spin on it. And Nolasco picking up the strikeout.
Northland Ford defense for the Angels. Ben Revere is in left. Eric Young Jr. in center and Cole Calhoun in right. Escobar, Simmons, Pennington, Crone, the infielders. And Juan Gratterall behind the plate. Albert Pujols not playing defensively these days. He's not even their designated hitter today, getting the day off after his historic night last night. Here's Robbie Grossman.
I think he deserves it.
Crone backhands and Nolasco covering to the bag and a quick second out, 2 away.
And that's what you want right there. I think Crone did a great job of feeding Nolasco early. Sometimes first basemen, you know, they'll wait till that pitcher gets closer to the bag, but on the grass, Crone feeds Nolasco to cover first. Watch this right here. Ground ball to first, normal ground ball. Right there. Give it to me so I can catch the ball and then find the bag.
So even though pitchers might be the best athletes on the team, it's a lot easier for them to do one thing at a time. First, let's catch the ball, then let's find the bag.
You know, it's so great over all these years. You're still fooled that I said that the pitchers are the best athletes on the field.
You've been preaching it for 22 years.
It's only a joke. It's having fun with it.
Well, who do you think then are the best athletes on the
Probably
team?
The shortstop, center fielders.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
1 strike to Joe Mauer.
All we do is throw the ball and get out of the way. Not try to get involved.
And Mauer got one up, fouled it back, 2 strikes.
Why do you think if Joe Mauer right now hits a pop-up in the infield near the pitcher's mound, what does the pitcher do? He gets out of the way. You try to control traffic if you can, but normally you get out of the way.
2 strikes to Mauer.
Well, Mauer's had great success against the Angels in his career. And he has faced Nolasco 3 times and he has 2 hits.
was a midseason trade last year, sending Nolasco and Alex Meyer, Thursday starter, to the Angels. The Twins got a relief pitcher we might see before the end of the season, and of course Hector Santiago. 1-2 from Nolasco to Mauer. Foul tip, and Gratterall hangs on. Couple of strikeouts in a quick 1-2-3 inning, and that's what Jose Barrios hopes happen in the bottom of the inning. Mark. It's been an injury-plagued season. 41 players used for the Angels this year, and his Menards batting order minus Albert Pujols, Andrelton Simmons leading off, Cole Calhoun, Yunel Escobar, Luis Valbuena, C.J. Cron, Ben Revere, Cliff Pennington, Eric Young Jr., and then the backup catcher Juan Gratterall.
And 23-year-old Jose Barrios on a mound here this afternoon, making his 5th start, his first career ever against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and his first start here in the on the West Coast. Did not face Oakland or Seattle or those two teams, and got a chance to pitch in San Francisco, I think, later in this road trip.
Belt high strike to Simmons. He'll be followed by Calhoun and Escobar. Outside, 1-1. Simmons hit a home run against Irvin Santana last night.
Yeah, I mentioned last night, you know, sometimes you get a new pitcher in that nobody's faced before. Important to get strike one, which Barrios did. Work ahead in the count.
Breaking ball and a weak little pop-up foul into the seats.
And he has a big sweeping breaking ball. He's coming off a short start for him because the 3 prior starts against Cleveland, Colorado, and Baltimore were all quality starts. His last start coming against the Houston Astros, 4 runs in 5 innings. Twins ended up losing that ball game 7-2.
1-2 to Simmons. Tapper. Adrianza flips, and shortstop retires the other. Nice play by Adrianza. Yes. 1 down. Northland Ford defense for the Twins, and a little bit of a different look, of course. Rosario's in center. Buxton's not in the lineup. Grossman taking over in left. Kepler in right. Sano over at first. Escobar filling in at third base. Adrianza in for Jorge Polanco at short, and Jason Castro back behind the plate.
You know, Dick, when there's a nice play made behind the pitching staff, so far on this road trip, the first 3 ball games, I bet you I have a dozen circles that I have on my scorecard where the Twins have made outstanding plays behind their pitchers.
From everywhere on the field.
Yes.
Here is Cole Calhoun. He has hit 3 home runs in this series. He got 2 of them a couple nights ago, got another one last night. And he takes ball 1.
Calhoun starting to heat up a little bit. They need his at bats with Mike Trout on a disabled list.
foul over the Angel dugout. 1-1.
Here on Thursday in Game 1, Crone had a .207 batting average. And because of getting some hits. Calhoun now hitting at .224.
Down and away, 2-1. Barrios stepped into the rotation on May 7th. 7 2/3 outstanding innings, giving up just 2 hits against the Indians. Might even have been a little bit better against the Rockies in his next start. Had an okay start, quality start, but he gave up 3 home runs to the Orioles at Camden Yards. And then the Astros, who hit just about everybody and everything the Twins threw at them in the 3-game series, scored 4 in 5 innings against Barrios. An Angel lineup that last night notwithstanding, they've had a hard time scoring runs. And when they have scored runs, it's typically been on home runs. That was the case last night. Off the plate, now 3-2.
Yeah, Barrios coming into this ball game only 8 walks in 26 2/3 innings, allowed only 13 hits, so less than a base runner per inning, 27 strikeouts.
Had 4 walks against the Astros. And that's to the left field corner foul.
3-pitch pitcher, fastball. Pretty straight. He's got to hit his spots, not overpowering. He'll hit 95, 96 at times, but he's better off right there at 93 to 94 range. Good sweeping breaking ball. And then changeup. And a pretty good one. Castro. 3. That breaking ball misses down and away. First walk.
Calhoun will be at first for Escobar. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Guys, it's time for our car soup scoop from the clubhouse. Paul Molitor says the key to facing Ricky Nolasco is realizing that he's a guy that preys on over-aggressiveness. So he wants them to slow things down and force him to throw strikes. Despite the loss last night, Molitor hopes the guys were able to take it all in and appreciate the fact that they were a part of history. Hopes that it's behind them today so they can focus on getting another road series win. And with Buxton getting the day off, Paul Molitor says he's glad he's got 3 guys that he feels confident in, that he can interchange in those positions in the outfield. Says all 3 have proven that they deserve the chance to fill in for a guy like Byron Buxton. Guys?
All right, thank you. Here's Escobar, big swing and a miss. Hitting in the 3rd spot. This is a different Angel lineup. Obviously, Mike Trout hurt, can't play. Pujols isn't in there, so not what Mike Scioscia would like to run out there. Can't do anything about the former, and he's chosen to not play the latter. 1 strike. And Escobar takes strike 2.
Escobar in his 2nd season with the Angels. Came up with the Atlanta Braves back in 2007. Also played for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays, and a couple years ago with the Nationals.
That's to center. Hit right at Rosario. And out number 2. That'll bring up Valbuena. Valbuena filling the DH spot with the Pujols absence. Angels have a tough situation. They're trying to get a little traction and get above the 500 mark and get there to stay. And while they're bobbing around the 500 mark, the Astros have run off 9 straight wins and have opened up a 12.5 game lead. Check of Calhoun at first with Sano over there today.
Angels like to run. They have 44 stolen bases. Only the Rangers have more. 1 more stolen base coming into today's play as a ball club.
Outside, ball 1. Twins trying to win the series 3-1, trying to improve in the month of June to 3-1. After the game, they head to Seattle, and we'll have an off day up there tomorrow. Off the plate again, 2-0. Popped up, it'll reach the seats. Twins are 8-9 in series-ending games. Berrios a couple times this year has followed up a disappointing Irvin Santana start with a better one of his own, and that's what the Twins hope will happen here today. Santana knocked out after 4 innings last night. Pretty much all hands on deck for the bullpen with the off day tomorrow. 2-1. Chopper up the middle, and Adrianza scoots to his left again. A couple of nice plays showing off his range, and it's a scoreless first with Miguel Sano ready to lead off the second. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Beautiful day here in Southern California. A hitless first inning for each starting pitcher, and Miguel Sano will lead things off in the second for the Twins. Bad news today, Jimmy Piersall passed away at the age of 87. Longtime outfielder and longtime broadcaster too. I never got a chance to meet Jimmy Piersall, but you said you did.
Yeah, when I was a player, you know, if he was broadcasting for the Chicago White Sox, so he would be around the field and get a chance to talk to him. Very, very funny man, and a lot of people thought that you know, he wasn't all there, but he said that he had papers to prove that he wasn't all there.
1-0 to Miguel Sano. Kepler and Escobar will follow. Facing Ricky Nolasco. And missing again, 2-0.
Well, one thing Nolasco's always had in his career, outstanding control. He's averaged just over 2 walks per 9 innings in his career.
Half swing and a foul tip for a strike, 2-1.
Nolasco first came up to the big leagues with the Marlins back in 2006. Was out here on the West Coast with the Dodgers a little bit in 2013 and then signed that contract with the Twins.
Hot ground ball to Simmons, who fires across. Sano retired, 1 away. Let's get the big story today from Audra Martin.
Guys, the big story is the Houston Astros and how they continue to roll. With the 6-5 win over the Rangers yesterday, Houston now has 40 wins on the season. They're the third team in baseball history to reach 40 or more wins in just 56 games. The other two teams to do so, the 2001 Mariners and the 2016 Chicago Cubs. Y'all know how that one ended. We'll see if Houston can follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, thank you, Audra. The 2001 Mariner team set a record for wins in a season. And the Astros will have to play about the level that they have played to this point for the entire season.
Well, and you mentioned 9-game winning streak. They're 20 wins at home and 20 wins on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, they left a very good, strong, positive impression when they left Minnesota. And while the Twins have played some of the other teams expected to be really good, I think they've found every team to be flawed except the Astros right now. Kepler taps another one foul, 1-2. I think the Twins feel quite comfortable within their own division. They've seen Cleveland and they know the Indians went to the World Series, almost won it last year. But I think they feel to a man they can compete with the Indians, and so too with the Tigers, White Sox, and Royals. Haven't faced the Yankees yet. Between the plate and the grass, a ball, and it's 1-2 to Kepler, who's had a good series here, both at the plate and in the field.
Yeah, 5 for 12 as far as the series wise. The first 3 ball games, couple home runs, he's driven in 4. Currently on a 6-game hitting streak. 9 hits and 25 at bats.
On the ground for a base hit, and Kepler keeps on hitting. The average keeps climbing, and he's aboard with the first hit of the game. Time for today's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Light. And Max Kepler over the last 19 games has been swinging a very good bat. The average well over 300, but with some power as well. He's aboard now for Eduardo Escobar. Escobar getting the start at third base, and the Twins would love Escobar's bat to start picking up some hits.
Yeah, a little bit more from this side, the left side of the plate. He's hitting only 152. Has 4 home runs, 3 as a right-handed hitter, 1 as a left-handed hitter.
Problem is, the Twins haven't faced any left-handed pitching, and in the last roughly 4 weeks they faced 1 left-handed starter. It was Kyle Freeland of the Rockies. They'll face a lefty Tuesday in Seattle, James Paxton. Trying to come back from an injury. 1 strike to Escobar. One and one. Escobar hitting .314 from the other side of the plate, but he's only had 35 at bats over there. And he takes up high, 2-1.
With the trade of Nolasco, when he got traded here to Southern California, it's kind of a homecoming for him. He grew up not too far from here, Corona, California. I'd say Corona's about a half hour from here, out toward Riverside.
Well, no, that doesn't help me. Where's Riverside?
About a half hour from here. Everything's about a half hour from here, unless
the hotel's a half hour from here. If the traffic isn't right.
Traffic could be. Corona could be 2 hours from here.
2-1. And another check of Kepler. 3 steals, 4 tries for Kepler. Twins in the stolen base department, 26 successful ones, 11 not successful.
Clubs against Nolasco this year. They have stolen 2 bases in 4 attempts in his first 11 starts.
One of the changes from a year ago, and there have been so many, but here's one that I don't think we've detailed. The Twins this year are stealing bases at a better success rate than they are allowing. And that hasn't been the case in Minnesota for a long time. 2-1. 3-1 with Rosario on deck.
Yeah, Twins have 26 stolen bases. Opponents have 23. Twins have been thrown out 11 times, and opponents have been thrown out 12 times.
There were 20 caught stealings for the Twins last year, all year, and there have already been 12 this year. 3-1 to the Twins' third baseman. Kepler goes, and the pitch grounded to Crone. Kepler will advance to second, 2 away. And that'll bring up Eddie Rosario. Rosario with 5 home runs on the year.
Yeah, all 5 home runs hit at Target Field, so good time to hit one here on the road.
I've got him for one here today.
Good. I like it.
Not this time. Slow bouncer to second. Pennington has an easy play.
Yeah,
Kepler left at second base.
Not enough airtime.
No score after an inning and a half. In our State Farm combination, the 9 men who've hit 600 or more home runs, and everybody has their own list, and you might have only 8 on your list, you might have only 7, you might have only 6, but still it's a pretty select group.
It sure is.
Here's C.J. Crone leading off the second against Jose Barrios in the dirt ball 1. Crone, Revere, and Pennington in the Angels second.
Yeah, Crone just getting recalled from AAA, a guy that last year hit 16 home runs for the Angels, hit 278, so he, like a lot of the Angels, off to a slow start.
2-0. Barrios with 20 pitches, just 11 strikes. Big fly ball down the right field line. Kepler tracking it and making the catch in foul territory, one away. And that'll bring up Ben Revere. Revere, as it turned out, was the first man to congratulate Albert Pujols at home plate after he touched home plate. Home run number 600 last night. And I will confess that when I first saw that, I thought, I didn't know Albert Pujols had a son that big. And turns out it was Ben Revere. But there was a huge size differential between Pujols, who's a massive man, and Revere, who is not. Strike one from Barrios. Strike two on the outside corner. Twins, one of the surprise teams in baseball through the first 2 months. And if they are going to continue to have a surprising season, Barrios will need to do what he has done so far, and that is look like he belongs up here. There are going to be off days. There are for every pitcher. There was last night for Irvin Santana. But Barrios has stepped in and given the Twins a big lift at a time when they really needed it. 1-2.
One thing about, baseball, you're going to have off days, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter.
Adrianza throws out Revere, 2 down.
And it's how sometimes you come back. And yeah, it wasn't a very good outing for Barrios' last start, but we'll look at Pujols, hoping that it stays fair, and it did.
And who was there to greet him? Everybody, but Ben Revere was at the head of the line. It was his wife. 2 down, and now Chad Pennington. I thought it interesting that Pujols admitted after the game, he of course was in great demand with the media, but he said he admitted that he was pressing a little bit, and some of his at-bats weren't very competitive because he was letting the pressure of the moment, the imminent moment, get to him a little bit.
I think that's normal. You're looking
but
at
machines aren't supposed to have to deal with pressure. They just soldier on, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And that's a good part of baseball. It's not run by machines.
Maybe one of the more appropriate nicknames in baseball, because he is hit like a machine for a long time. Tap foul. Do you have a nickname in your career?
Oh yeah, but I can't say it on the air. Okay.
Was there one particular one? I heard. I heard you called a lot of different things.
It's Sunday. I got to watch what I say on Sunday. Okay.
Ever since, well, never mind. 1-2 to Pennington. And now up. Danny Espinosa's been struggling at the plate. Pennington get a chance to play some at second base now. Half swing. I think he went.
I think he went.
No, says third base umpire Tim Timmons.
Well, he had no trouble calling that last night.
And Tim Timmons last night behind the plate didn't seem to want to ask the base umps for help, but now they call on him, and he said no, he didn't swing.
And that's what it should be. Will Little behind the plate here this afternoon. Exactly what umpires should do behind home plate.
Ought to be mandatory for strike 3.
Well,
mandatory.
He said, the umpire's tracking the ball. They're not going to see if
he
maybe went too far. I thought he did too, but Tim Timmons said no.
And now a foul away. If the home plate umpire wants to make the call on strike 1 or strike 2, that's not perfect, but I can live with that. But for strike 3, at the end of an at bat, you're doing the hitter a great disservice if you don't get it right. And the base umps are in the best position to get that check swing call right.
And how many times when a home plate umpire makes that call, the hitter says, just check, please.
Yeah. Well, there's strike 3. Barrios has a strong second inning, and we have 2 scoreless innings in the books. The #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. And by State Farm. Combine auto and renters and see how much money you can save. Beautiful afternoon, no score. As we head to the third inning, and A-Ray Adrianza will lead things off for the Twins, getting a chance to start in place of Jorge Polanco at short. He's made a couple of nice plays, look easy going to his left. Adrianza 8 hits, 24 at bats, couple of doubles. Up and away, ball one. Twins have the only hit. Kepler's single in the second. It'll be Adrianza, Castro, and Dozier here in the third. Half swing, and he went. Skip rope, and it's 2-1. Tigers leading the White Sox 4-2 in that game. Justin Verlander taken out after 3 innings with tightness in his right groin. Had a very long first inning, almost as long as second inning. 3-1. The Indians jumped on the Royals 4-0 early, but they've been in a rain delay for about an hour at Kauffman Stadium. Sharply hit, backhanded nicely by Pennington. One away.
Yeah, nice play by Pennington on that little short hop.
June 21st, it's Star Wars night at Target Field. A limited number of Star Wars themed night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and Brian Dozier's Stormtrooper bobblehead. Go to twinsbaseball.com/Star Wars to learn more about the Star Wars theme night offer. One down now. Here's Castro. Chris Jimenez started and caught both games. A drive to right and deep and gone. Castro tees off his 5th and the 17th allowed by Nolasco.
Yeah, he jumped on that first fastball and gives the Twins a 1-0 lead. It's only the 6th home run of the 17 home runs that Nolasco was allowed to a left-handed hitter. But Castro came into the ballgame 3 for 4 against Nolasco. Got a high fastball at 90 miles an hour and put it over the right field fence.
Here is Dozier, went down swinging his first time up. And a strike. One of the reasons I think this Twins lineup is intriguing in the power department, they have somebody in the middle, Sano, who might hit 40, but there's balance in the lineup. Brian Dozier has hit 40. He's got 8 so far this year. Robbie Grossman hitting a few more home runs this year than he typically would. Kepler on a pace to hit about 20. Rosario, I think, is just scratching the surface in terms of his power. He's got 5, but I can very easily see him in the 20-25 home run range this year. 1-2 to Dozier. Just outside 2-2. And to me, that's the ideal mix, to have somebody who's really a power hitter like Sano.
Fastball just away at 92 miles an hour.
Fouled back, and then balanced power throughout the lineup. Couple booths down.
I went into the Gene Autry booth. Nice souvenir.
2-2. Dozier strikes out again. 2 down.
Strikeout number 3 for Nolasco.
We'll bring up Grossman, who grounded out early in his at bat to C.J. Cron.
Well, breaking ball, and that's kind of Nolasco's bread and butter. Good control of the fastball. Then he'll mix in different speeds on that breaking ball. big slow curveball, then he'll tighten it up.
Squaring and taking strike one.
Change up right there.
This is Nolasco's second start against the Twins. His first came as a member of the Marlins. You might remember the start. It was the second game of a doubleheader. First game was frozen out against the Marlins a couple years ago. Here's a ball hit to left center. And now retreating is Young. Has to go back and reach and pull it down. That ball sailed on him. So did Castro's drive into the seats in right. 1-0 Twins, and you're watching Twins baseball. Presented by State Farm.
He's a really good guy.
Just a good guy to be around.
Very young, so he's always got questions. He's always trying to learn something new.
Very intelligent. He's trying to learn.
He's going to be a good one. We just got to give him some time. He's very eager to learn and to be great, and he'll get there.
Yeah, nice word said about Jose Barrios. Last year, kind of a stepping stone for him. A couple stints with the Twins that didn't work out the way I know he planned, but hey, different little attitude, a little different delivery that he has this year. Move from the first base side of the pitching rubber to the third base side, a little more aggressive over his head, and just get to that balance point and then explode toward that catcher's glove.
Just turned 23 about a week ago. Facing Eric Young Jr., then Juan Gratterall and Andrelton Simmons. 1-1 to Young. 1-2.
Hey, missed low with a breaking ball on the previous pitch. Comes back with another breaking ball, called a strike. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for Barrios. Going fastball in, get it in there.
Oh.
And he got it in a little bit too far. He hit the bat, I believe, or part of Young.
Nope. Got Young, and he'll go to first.
Young got hit in the leg in last night's ball game. Trying to go fastball in, got it in there. Hit off the right arm of Young.
Runner at first, nobody out. Gratterall will hit, and for Barrios, that is his 5th hit batter of the season in 28 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss.
Well, there's been 2 double plays turned behind Barrios with him on the mound in his first 4 starts. Young, good speed at first base.
Loop to right, a base hit. And Young will scamper around second and get to third base. Well, Gratterall didn't hit it well at all, but he dumped it into the outfield grass. And the Angels have a threat, first and third, nobody out.
Yeah, sometimes not much you can do about that. It's kind of an inside-out swing. Gratterall, see where that pitch wanted to be away, but inside, kind of ran in on him. Just dumps it down that right field line. And a little doink. And that allows the speedy Young to get over to third. First hit for the Angels.
And now Simmons, who bounced to short his first time up. Twins will play the infield back, of course. They'll exchange a double play for the game tying run. And there's a ground ball to short. 1, 2, double play, and the run scores, and it's 1 apiece.
Yeah, no RBI for Simmons as Barrios able to get a double play ball as Young scores. It's a 1-1 ball game.
You know, we've seen that not necessarily with ground ball double plays, but Barrios last year would have innings that started with a couple of runners on, nobody out. Before he knew it, there were 3 or 4 runs on the board, and he's done a much better job this year in those situations, like the one he had here in the 3rd inning, of getting out of the inning with the minimal amount of damage.
Yep, called damage control. And I think the more innings this young man gets, the more he's going to learn that and hopefully stay away from those multi-run innings.
You know, it seems as if the switch was turned on, the light bulb went off. You know, you don't necessarily have to strike out yourself out of an inning. You know, he made a pitch. Simmons was out in front. He had a weak ground ball, and he got 2 outs with 1 pitch.
There's a good fastball right there.
Strike 1, strike 2.
And that comes with innings, no matter if you're in the minor leagues or the big leagues. Hopefully you learn from each outing. And like the guy said about Barrios, he wants to learn. He asks questions. You know, he's going to sit next to Santana in a ball game, Irvin Santana, and when they're not competing, and ask questions. That's how you learn. And you watch the game.
I was just going to say that, with your eyes wide open and your ears open, and until you get some seniority, your mouth shut, right?
Yep,
I mean,
yeah, your rookies are to be seen and not heard.
That one might beat the shift. Pushed into short center field, and Calhoun will have a base hit. Only one infielder over there, and it was the shortstop Adrianza, and all he could do was knock the ball into center field.
Yeah, Calhoun just kind of reaches out and just lays it toward the middle of the diamond. See where Adrianza is out, and a hit off his glove. So Calhoun gets a second hit of the inning, the second for the Angels.
Now, Yunel Escobar neither hit hard at all. Escobar with a fly ball to center his first time up. Mentioned the Angels like to run and steal bases. They don't expect Albert Pujols to do any of the running, but Calhoun with a couple of steals.
Yeah, Mike Trout, who's on a disabled list, leads the Angels with 10 stolen bases. Calhoun, he's 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts.
Maben had 13, but he, like Trout's, on the disabled list.
Okay.
1-0 to Yunel Escobar. They say in Kansas City they're going to get that game resumed in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's Maben with 13, Trout with 10. They have 44 as a ball club.
Only been thrown out 12 times. That's a pretty good steal percentage, approaching 80%.
Well, dangerous pitch right here. Escobar looking for something that he can turn on. And Castro sitting away.
There's a strike.
And a good fastball down.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Good changeup right there.
One thing that the Twins see in Barrios that they'd like to see more of with Alberto Mejia is the confidence in the catcher and letting the catcher call the game. You don't see Barrios shaking off his catchers very often. Breaking ball got him, and Barrios comes off the mound, giving up a hit batsman, 2 singles, and the game-tying run, and it's 1 apiece.
I like that play with Young go running into the wall. It's like, who put this wall here? I was going to catch that ball.
What happened? Plays of the week, and there weren't any from the Astros series. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're the Twins, not the Astros.
Here's Joe Mauer to lead off the 4th. Will be followed by Sano and Kepler. Outside, ball 1. Mauer went down swinging to close out the 1st inning.
And Nolasco with 3 strikeouts in a ball game, no walks. He's given up a couple hits, a single and the home run to Castro.
Strike called, 1-1.
You're talking about the only other start that Nolasco had. It came back in 2013 in Minnesota. In that ball game, Nolasco worked 5 innings, but he got the win in an 8-5 win over the Twins, and Mike Pelfrey started that ball game.
It was still very cold when they tried to play 2 games at Target Field, and Mike Redmond, the manager of the Marlins at the time, was going to have Nolasco pitch the first game, and then a young emerging pitcher by the name of Jose Fernandez pitch the second game. 1-2 to Mauer. The Florida owner woke up and decided he wanted it the other way around, and so he wanted Fernandez to pitch while it was a couple of degrees warmer. And so Nolasco got to the ballpark thinking he'd pitch the first game, and said was being told he'd pitch the second game, and pitched a good enough ball game against the Twins. Rolled to the right side, easy play for Pennington, and Mauer's retired, 1 away. And Miguel Sano for 1 today, but still mounting numbers that might send him to Miami for the All-Star game.
You know, top 5. I mean, you look at RBIs right there, 41 on the season. Nelson Cruz leading. Great slugging percentage, runs scored, home runs, and hits.
Ranks among third basemen in the American League, with Manny Machado having a disappointing year so far. See what he can get done here with 1 down in the 4th inning in a tie game. Half swing, ball 1. And he swings at the breaking ball and misses. 1-1. Foul. Well, let's assume for the moment that Sano will be representing the Twins through one means or another at the All-Star game, and then the question is, should he be asked to participate in the home run derby?
It's kind of an individual thing. I mean, if you're asked, I'm sure he may want to, he may not.
Buckled by the breaking ball, but he took it for ball 2. My sense is that he'd be eager to participate in the home run derby if asked. And where'd that pitch miss? I thought that was strike 3. 3-2. Nolasco looking in saying, hey, where was that? Mike Scioscia says, where was that?
Let's see what Fox Track says.
It was outside. That's where it was. I trust Fox Tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Driven to center, and that's knuckling its way out to the center fielder, Eric Young. Might have hit it off the end of the bat, so no bluffs a rush to second base.
And of course, as you're a pitcher, you know, you feel like you were robbed on that strikeout. You throw in the next pitch, a breaking ball, a base hit, and Nolasco's reaction was being upset, but also taking a look toward home plate.
Sano's aboard, and Kepler will bat.
3rd hit for the Twins. Kepler got the Twins' first hit with 1 out in the 2nd inning.
Down and in, ball 1. Kepler signed by the Twins as a 16-year-old almost 8 years ago. It was July of 2009 the Twins signed him. Two and 0. Strike taken, and it's 2-1. Angels will come to Minnesota for their only series the week before the All-Star break. I mentioned after this game the Twins will head up to Seattle. They'll see an awful lot of the Mariners for the next week and a half, and then they'll be done with the Mariners. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, big swing right there by Kepler.
Twins have 3 in Seattle, go to San Francisco, and then the Mariners come to town for 4, and then Twins will be done with Seattle for the season. 2-2 to Kepler. Off-speed pitch, and Kepler swings over the top, 2 down.
Strikeout number 4 for Nolasco.
Businesses of all sizes gain an edge by hosting their clients during a Twins game at Target Field. You can take advantage of all that Target Field has to offer, from a private suite to special group seating arrangements. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 833-TWINS. and ask about a Twins group outing. 2 down. Here's Escobar. Blocked by Gratterall. Ball 1. That's something you don't see very often anymore. Will Little threw the ball back to the pitcher, the new baseball. Usually now they just hand it to the catcher and have the catcher.
I remember Steve Palermo. I mean, I know he just passed away. I did not want him to throw the ball back to me because he had such a good arm. He was throwing the ball back to me harder than I was throwing to him.
Outside now, 2-0.
Then you had Ken Kaiser that would throw it underhand, and if you didn't like the ball, maybe you'd throw it back in, and then he'd throw 3 or 4 balls back to you and say, okay, pick the one you want.
Two and 0 to Escobar. 3-0, and Rosario on deck.
Nolasco came into this ball game with 1,767 innings pitched in his career. It only walked 420. That's about 2.1 walks per 9 innings. Averaging just over 7 strikeouts in his career per 9 innings.
Escobar takes a strike, 3-1.
He is very stingy as far as allowing base on balls.
As much as you want to say that it didn't work out with the Twins, it's hard to argue that it did. There were reasons why the Twins signed him. He was an accomplished pitcher. Had some injury issues with the Twins, of course.
The elbow flared up on him. Well, his best season coming with the Marlins back in 2008 when he won 15 ball games in 32 starts. Worked a career high 212 innings.
Sano goes, and the pitch fouled back. So on the 3-1 pitch, Sano took off. And Escobar fouled it straight back.
Not bad right there because Nolasco really wasn't paying much attention to him. So maybe if Escobar had hit an extra base hit right there, Sano may have scored. So the big man will be taken off here at first base on a 3-2 pitch and 2 outs.
There he goes. Escobar fouls another one back. Nolasco's second in the American League in home runs allowed, yielding his 17th of the year to Castro last inning. Driven to right, a sharp hit. Sano, because he was taking off, will go to third base. First and third with a sharp single to right from Escobar, and now Rosario will have a chance in the 4th inning to prove me out to be a prophet.
Yeah, high fastball right there. Escobar jumped all over it. Runners at first and third with 2 outs.
Rosario came up with a runner at second and 2 down and bounced to second to end the inning.
He swung at the first pitch from Nolasco in that last at bat. Rosario's driven in 15 runners. See if he can add to the total here.
And that's a low number with the 5 home runs. Picture Rosario finishing with about 80 runs batted in, but he has not produced. Of course, now part of that is he's been hitting down on the bottom of the lineup for a good part of the season, most of the season, hitting 7th, 8th, or 9th most of the time. Chance to do some damage here with 1 strike and 2 men on.
Yeah, this was game number 53 for the Twins. So tomorrow's ball game or Tuesday's ball game in Seattle will be 1/3 of the season. And I am in California, and I figured that out very quickly.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
For the Angels, this is their 60th game of the year. So how many more games has the Anaheim Angels played more than Minnesota? That's a question to you.
Oh, they've played 60. The Twins have played
53 now. This is their number 60th.
7.
Very good. See, when you're in California, it just rolls off.
2 strikes to Rosario. He's only got 1 strike left.
Make it a good one. Oh, not good for Nolasco, not for Rosario.
2 singles, 2 men left. It's still 1 apiece.
Well, Jason Castro put the Twins on the board with a home run, his 5th of the year. That in the 3rd inning with 1 out made it a Twins 1-0 lead. Then runners at the corners, a double play off the bat of Simmons scores Young to tie the game in the bottom of the 3rd.
In reality, nothing's been hit hard against Barrios. The 2 singles were not struck well at all, and then they followed the hit batter in the 3rd inning. Valbuena, Crone, and Revere will hit against Barrios in the 4th. Strike 1. 50 pitches for Barrios, 32 strikes. And I believe that is a 64% strike percentage. I'm just showing off.
I'm telling you, it just rolls off.
Valbuena hit a bouncer to short his first time up. Now with 2 strikes, Escobar will line himself up almost directly behind the second base bag. Just outside, ball 1. Castro thought it might have been strike 3. He was ready to throw the ball to Adrianza. You know, it's important for pitchers to be aware of the shifts, and we saw Escobar making eye contact with Barrios to make sure he knew that, you know, if there's a ball hit up the middle, you don't have to go get it because I'm standing right there. Now that ball's fair right down the line, and it nearly hit the bag. Valbuena rounds first, and he'll glide into second base. A leadoff double in the 4th.
That looked like a breaking ball. Valbuena just kind of pulls this ball right down that first baseline. Sano playing off the line a bit. See the breaking ball down. And you see where Sano is playing. He could not get to it. Stays in fair territory. All the way down the right field corner. Kepler has to retrieve it. Valbuena with just his second double of the year.
Here's Crone, hit a foul fly to Kepler his first time up. Out in front of the breaking ball. Strike one. Let's see how Barrios handles this situation. Talked last inning about his ability to limit damage and see if he can pitch around the leadoff double here. Might need a strikeout or two to do it.
I was going to say, need a strikeout right here. And Crone, a guy that has a lot of power, but also a guy that's capable of striking out.
1-1 to Crone. Barrios has a pair of strikeouts. Fouled back. Crone with a healthy swing.
Well, your fastball in right there that Crone fouled off. Now you have to make your best pitch right here. And Barrios, so far, his best pitch has been that good hard breaking ball down and away. So he needs a strikeout. Barrios started in AAA Rochester, made 6 starts. 3-0, 1.13 ERA. So on the season, he's totaled those together, 6-1 and ERA right around 2.
Driven hard and foul.
He went with the fastball and Crone fouled it off.
Crone with a strikeout about every 5.5 at bats in the big leagues, and by today's standards, that's almost a contact hitter. Guys who strike out every 3 times.
Throw him a good breaking ball right here. Make it a sharp one down and away. Going back fastball.
And a base hit up the middle. Rosario charges. And Valbuena will stay at third base. First and third, nobody out here in the 4th inning. And our game break takes us to Texas. The Astros are at it again. They lead 7-1, bottom of the 5th inning. And guess what? They've done it with power. George Springer has 2. Carlos Correa has just 1 home run so far. And the Astros just keep rolling along, looking for their 41st win of the season.
Yeah, I did not like that pitch sequence right there to Crone. You have 2 strikes on him. The hard breaking balls, a strikeout pitch, and he went with a couple fastballs, 1 fouled off. Then they tried to sneak a fastball down, and Crone hit it back up the middle.
Escobar even with the bag at third. Sano holding the runner at first, and Revere takes low ball 1.
You know, your best pitch, I mean, besides the fastball, is your strikeout pitch is the curveball. And you can see it breaking balls the first couple, but then the fastball in, Crone just fought off and hit it up the middle.
You've seen Barrios at times when he's needed it, reaching back for 96, but his fastball doesn't have that zip on it today. That one clocked at 92.
Right. I think I've seen 93. That's about tops.
Well, you're talking about a significant difference there. We've seen him when he, in that situation, if he wants to throw a fastball, he can dial it up 96, maybe even 97, but he hasn't had that today. 1-0 to Revere. And now 2-0.
Well, he's got good whip in his arm, and I always look when the velocity comes from your waist down. So it's your legs that when you drive off of that pitching rubber, that creates a harder whip out of that arm. I haven't really seen him drive yet here today as he did in the past.
2-0 to Revere. And a looper for a base hit. And the Angels take the lead. 3 straight hits here in the 4th inning.
Revere shaking his hand as he's going down to first base. He jammed himself a little bit, but picks up his 6th RBI. The Angels take a 2-1 lead. Ball behind in the count. Have to come in with a fastball. And Revere hits it softly into right center. Looked like it was right off the end of the bat. See him shaking his left hand.
The Angels tie it in the 3rd. Claim a lead now in the 4th. Still nobody out. Chad Pennington, the 7th place hitter, will hit next.
You got to take the bunt away right here. Escobar going through some signs at third base. Know what play is on.
And oddly, here is where Sano's throwing ability, if the bunt is put down to the right side, if there is a bunt in the first place, there's strike 1 taken. The bunt should go toward the third base side to bring the third baseman in, but Sano's got such a great arm and he loves to use it at third base, but his arm can be a weapon at first base too. 1 strike to Pennington, who showed no indication of bunting.
No, he did not.
And now 2 strikes. And Barrios has been there before this inning. See what he gives Pennington as he hopes to strike him out. Ground ball near the third base bag to Escobar, and we could make a little more history here in this series. Instead, fouled away.
He struck out Pennington for his first strikeout to end the 2nd inning. Barrios did.
Thursday night, it was a right-handed batter, Jeffrey Marte, who bounced into a triple killing. 1-2.
Barrios making just his 19th career start here this afternoon.
Pitch number 66. Did he go? Nope. 2-2.
Change up right there.
Two and 2 to Pennington. Another check swing. 3-2. And Castro will hand deliver a new baseball. Two hitless innings. And now 5 hits in the last 7 plate appearances.
That's a big pitch right here. Big pitch. Got to trust that fastball down and away, or do you have confidence in throwing that breaking ball over? Don't look for the runners to be going anywhere. And it's a fastball up, and Pennington may have swung at ball 4.
Fastball at 93. Another 3-2. Missed inside, and they're loaded up. A run is in. Bases are loaded. Nobody out for Eric Young Jr. And here comes Neil Allen.
Second walk for Berríos in a ball game. One thing you see, these young kids that come up, they just don't have confidence in that fastball. Looked like you wanted to go fastball there, but Castro looked like he's sitting away and the ball down and in. You have to be able to throw that fastball over the plate 7 out of 10 times down and away.
Regardless,
you want to win up here.
Regardless of how fast it is.
Right.
If it's 92, 93, it's probably more important to have location than if you've got 95, 96.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see how Berríos fares here. Angels are threatening to break the game open here. And with Irvin Santana going just 4 innings last night, now this afternoon, Tyler Duffy's getting warmed up in the 4th inning. Young was hit by a pitch. Berríos got ahead of him. Hit him, and then a couple of scratch singles later, the Angels had the game tied. Corner infielders up, middle infielders back. Fouled away. You know,
one thing about Young, he's only struck out a couple times in 21 at bats, so he's made pretty good contact.
And one thing we've seen here today, and maybe it's a function of Berríos not having that zip on his fastball, a lot of foul balls, but not many swings and misses. Breaking ball, and he swung over the top of it.
Good curveball there. Now ahead in the count. Now what you end up doing, and I did it when I was young, you're trying to throw a better curveball than you just did. Just throw the same one again. That had good bite to it, great location. Left-handers love to swing at that pitch down and in.
Almost hit him again.
Well, his breaking ball breaks pretty big, more east to west than north to south.
1-2. Seems like we've said it in just about every at bat this inning. Berríos needs a strikeout. Got one.
Got it.
One down.
He came back with it again, and that was a good one. So a big strikeout for Berríos. Tell you what, with a fastball for the first pitch that Young fouled off. And then he came back with that same curveball he threw to get strike 2. Strikeout number 3 for Berríos.
Now Gratterall, who dumped a single down the right field line. Looked like he made contact right about at the trademark.
Yeah, his fastball up. Got to keep the ball down here. A guy that hopefully might hit into a double play.
Off the end of the bat, foul with a breaking ball. Angels with 5 hits. Twins have 4. Gratterall trying to add to a 2-1 Angel lead. Nice pickup by Castro, backhanding it out of the dirt. 1-1. In the inning, a walk and 3 hits. So far, just 1 run. Towards short. Out at second. Relay to first. Double play.
There it is.
Berríos again does a great job with damage control. The Angels get 1, but just 1, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Pepsi fans of the game hoping the Twins can take this series 3-1. Yet another measure of how remarkable this Twins season has been. With the selfies been taken. Twins trying to avoid losing back-to-back road games for just the second time this year. In Detroit, they lost a couple consecutively, and they haven't lost back-to-back games since. Adrianza taps it foul, and Nolasco ahead quickly 0-2. And of course, you know, overall the Twins 16-6 on the road. Pitches up 1-2. Twins have 3 singles and a home run against Nolasco. Off the glove of Crone, and there's nobody at first base.
And Nolasco late getting over. He anticipated Crone catching that ball, and he did not get over to cover first.
Base hit for Adrianza to start the 5th.
Well, Crone diving to his right, breaking ball left up. Adrianza hitting it sharply, and nobody at home. Watching Nolasco right there. Nope, too late.
Castro clobbered a home run on Nolasco's first pitch in the 3rd inning after 1 out. Adrianza can run a little bit. And Castro hits this one down the left field line, a long run for Revere, and he has no play, the ball landing in foul territory. One strike to Castro as he comes back to the plate.
Again, Castro came into the game 3 for 4 against Nolasco. Their meetings when he was with the Houston Astros. He jumped on that first pitch and hit the home run.
And Castro's average has climbed back over the 200 mark. For a while it was sitting in the 190s. Right now hitting 222. Not close, 1-1. See what the Twins can do to answer here. This game could very easily be 6-1, something like that. But it's just a 2-1 ball game. Leadoff man on here in the 5th. Out in front, 1-2.
Good changeup right there by Nolasco. Making his 291st start. Had 110 wins, 108 losses in his career. Pulled the string at 79 miles an hour. Nolasco has 11 complete games, 5 shutouts in his career. Another good changeup. Nolasco picks up a strikeout, his 6th of the ball game.
We'll bring up Dozier. Looking for the ultimate Twins experience this summer? The all-new Twins baseball and softball camps presented by select Heartland Chevy dealers are perfect for your kids' summer plans. Camps are for kids aged 6 to 14, feature a current Twins player and coach, a VIP day trip to Target Field, full Twins uniform, skills competition, and more. To learn more and register, visit twinsbaseball.com/training. Here's Dozier. He struck out twice.
You ever go to a camp as a kid?
No. You know, the Twins used to have the
like a tryout camp?
Well, not that, but the clinics, Twins clinics.
Okay.
And I always wanted to go to one, but I never did. Could have been a career changer for me, you know. I mean, if I had gotten some proper instruction, who knows where my athletic talents might have taken.
You might be right where Ricky Nolasco is right now.
Could be.
Instead, you're where he is right now in the fantasy camp here on the mound.
That's right. Fly ball center field. Easy play for Young, and out number 2.
You know, today's age with, you know, travel ball and all that stuff, why wouldn't you get your children involved in a camp like the Twins have right there, when you're getting instructions from guys that maybe played the game and you know, have been teaching baseball for many years, not only as a kid but also as a coach, to go and watch what they do to prepare these kids for a ball game.
Here's Robbie Grossman 0 for 2, a grounder to first and a liner to center. I wonder if the Twins would be interested in sending Adrianza. He has 1 steal in his only try. Grossman with 6 doubles along with his 6 home runs on the season.
Well, once in a while Nolasco will bring that knee way up, but normally with a runner on that has speed, he'll be quicker toward home plate.
And they pitch out thinking there might be something on. It's ball 1.
Mike Scioscia, former catcher, sensing maybe Paul Molitor put something on right there. Don't see too many pitch outs in today's game anymore. Scioscia was a great catcher. Great catcher.
Now low, and it's 2-0 with Adrianza bluffing a sprint to second base. This the first inning where the Twins have gotten their leadoff man aboard. Adrianza goes. Grossman fouls it straight back. Twins trying to make something happen by sending the runner. Maybe Grossman getting a single or a double.
They had a good jump right there. Just Grossman fouled it off.
Grossman steps out, looks at Gene Glenn. Gratterall looks in the dugout to Mike Scioscia. He goes again. Check swing. Gratterall's throw in time to get it. Quick tag by Simmons to end the inning. And we head to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Angels.
you bring your Circle Me signs, you might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner circle where you could win $100. Isn't that right? 100. I keep wanting to give 200 away. Courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
Now that's pretty good because you did that from memory. There was no card in front of you. You have that memorized at this point.
Kinda, yeah.
We've only read it for like 15 years.
You'd think I would finally memorize something.
To left field. Grossman with the catch, 1 away.
Hey, I went to school for 12 years. I didn't memorize anything there. You know, Jose Barrios today, you know, haven't seen the 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, but the curveball's always there. He's a two-pitch pitcher, basically, has a changeup, but when he has that curveball on, got some big strikeouts right there. We're going to show Young's, that's a big strikeout right there when he struck out Young with bases loaded and nobody out.
Especially since he got the double play right after that, kept the run scoring to just 1. Here is Calhoun, a walk and a single. Ordinarily, there are other hitters to contend with when you play the Angels, but in this game, with Trout hurt and Pujols getting the day off, Twins are trying to make sure that they don't get beaten by Cole Calhoun, but he's reached both times. 3 home runs in the series. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Hey, he tightened up on that breaking ball right there. Yeah, a walk in the first inning for Calhoun, then a base hit in the third. Fastball away, get it up. Just like that, good pitch.
Again, 93.
Another fastball up.
95, but well off the plate. 2-2.
You know, it's great to sit up here and second guess sometimes, but right there, I've got to come hard in on him. So then I can come hard in with that good breaking ball underneath that swing of Calhoun. But both fastballs away. And another fastball.
94, but now ball 3. So he's missed with 3 straight fastballs.
Now you got to drop the hook on him right here. Fastball in. And he took it for strike 3 and he knew it.
Probably looking for that curveball that you were looking for.
Would have got me too.
Oh, come on. It took 6 pitches. Took 6 pitches to get that strikeout.
Would only take 3 for me. I would have swung at that high fastball just to go sit down.
2 down, and now Yunel Escobar. You know, I think that's something I and every baseball fan who never did it would like just one at bat against somebody who could throw 94, 95, just to get some feel for what it's like. I don't, you know. The ball hit into center field, a base hit for Escobar. Breaking ball for a 2-out single.
Well, I know it's not a real person, Dick, but you know they have batting cages that you can go to, and they have sometimes they'll have 70, 80, 90. And believe me, as a kid, I when you're growing up, you go to the batting cage, and you're 15, 16 years old, and you say, I'm going to try the 90. And not even
can't see it.
Can't even. I mean, by the time I swung it, hit that little padding in the back.
I did that once and got it up to 70 miles per hour, and then the ball just shoots at you. There's no motion where you can anticipate.
Right.
It seemed like 98. I came close years ago because I thought Brad Radke, A, he's a nice guy. He's not going to hit me, and B, he's got really good control. So he'd be the guy. Sometime like 2:30 in the afternoon, I get a bat. I stand in the box, and then what Brad throw, maybe 91, 92, I suppose, and I'd be able to, get a sense for what it's like. But I never asked. most of us, me included, we topped out in high school, and whatever a high school fastball is, 75, something like that, 80 miles per hour.
You know, there's a lot of great sports out there, and I think still the hardest thing to do is hit a round ball with a round bat, hit it solid. And you're talking about just a fastball. How about somebody that has a good curveball or, you know, good changeup, and you have no chance?
No illusion of that. I just, you know, just to be able to.
So what you're saying is, if you're going to face Brad Radke, you have to throw me a fastball. Don't throw me that changeup that I swing 3 times and spin around before it comes over the plate.
1-2 to Valbuena. Hit a double down the right field line his first time up, and eventually scored the go-ahead run.
I mean, you have a split second. I mean, a small second, quick second to make a decision on swinging that bat or not. So the power in their hands and the quickness of their swing.
We do it from time to time. We'll slow a swing down, and you'll see the swing itself begins with the ball 2/3 of the way to home plate.
Yeah, the reaction time is amazing.
1-2.
That's why you look at what Pujols did, and anybody of the other 9 guys to be able to hit the ball as far as they did, over 600 times.
Speaking of Radke, I remember years ago we tried to show that Gary Sheffield was the guy who would always, you know, wag the bat behind his helmet, and as Radke released the ball, the bat was angled directly toward the pitcher, and yet he was able to bring the barrel all the way around, and in that case he hit a home run against Brad.
Yeah, I played with Julio Franco, and at the barrel of the bat, when he basically got set, the barrel of the bat was almost hitting his left shoulder, but he's able to, you know, use those strong hands. You told me the other day you shook hands with Albert Pujols and almost brought you to your knees.
The second hardest handshake I've ever felt. The other one, oddly, was Willie Shoemaker, the jockey. He almost brought me to my knees. He's 5 foot tall and 120 pounds, whatever he was, just off the plate. 2-2 to Valbuena.
For me, it was Chuck Tanner.
Really?
Chuck Tanner, you had to get in there if you shook his hand.
Yeah.
If you had a ring on, forget it. Whatever was on the side of your ring was on the side of your 2 fingers.
Well, Barria's trying to get off the mound here. The pitch count climbing into the 90s. This will be pitch number 92. It's hard to quarrel with what he's given the Twins here. Just 2 runs up on the board. A walk, 1 hit batter, 2 walks. Runner goes, and the pitch chopped right to Sano.
Good changeup right there. Yep.
5 innings, 2 runs on the board, a 2-1 Angel lead. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. Angels in front now 2-1. And our Sanford Health injury report. Gene Segura, who's having a great year for the Mariners, got a bad ankle that might keep him out a couple of months, so the Twins won't have to contend with him when we open up the series at Safeco Field Tuesday night.
And King Felix Hernandez still on a disabled list too for the Mariners.
Robbie Grossman will lead things off. He was at the plate when Adrianza was thrown out trying to steal second base. Swing and a miss, 1 strike.
And Nolasco's pitched well, starting his 6th inning. He's given up only 5 hits. 1 left the ballpark off the bat of Castro.
And Alex Meyer the other night pitched a good ball game for the Angels. 1-1.
Even though they have used 23 different pitchers, the Angels come into this ball game with a combined 4.12 ERA as a ball club. That's 6th best in the American League. Twins have been struggling. Their 4.65 ERA is last.
And Grossman hit by the pitch. He'll go to first base. So the Twins get the leadoff man on for the 2nd inning in a row. Mauer, Sano, Kepler hoping to take advantage of the base runner here.
Well, you know, the Angels, when Barrios hit Eric Young in the 2nd inning, they were able to put some runners on the base, ended up scoring. See if Grossman could score.
Angels apparently taking a look at it here. Everybody looking in the Angel dugout to see whether that ball actually hit Grossman or not. And Mike Scioscia says, yep, play on.
For Nolasco, that's his first hit batsman of the year.
Mauer 0 for 2, struck out in the 1st, grounded out to 2nd in the 4th. Ball 1. Mauer has made a habit of terrorizing Angel pitching. This would be a good spot for him to get a base hit. Twins trying to get at least to get the game tied up here in the 6th.
Yeah, Joe came into the ballgame only 3 at-bats against Nolasco, but had a couple hits against him. 0 for 2 so far.
Strike 1. Justin Upton with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 9th, and the Tigers walked off the White Sox, ended up sweeping them in a 3-game series. Cleveland, Kansas City back playing, and Cleveland's added a couple more runs. They lead at 6-0. 1-1 to Mauer. Squaring and taking ball 2.
Yeah, we saw Escobar playing a deep 3rd. Not on the grass, just maybe about 10 steps off the grass. Now he's moved in a little bit.
Nolasco with the 17 home runs allowed. If he pitches 200 innings at that rate, he's going to be real close to the record of 50.
You want that record to be broken, don't you?
Think, here's Jose Alvarez. He's the only lefty they have out in the bullpen. Grossman goes, and Mauer lunges after, trying to protect the runner.
Maybe a hit and run put on right there.
And given Gratterall's throwing accuracy and Simmons so good at dropping tags on, that was maybe a pretty important foul off the bat of Mauer. Grossman has average speed. We'll see whether that foul ball turns out to be an important one here in the 6th inning.
Well, Nolasco, a guy that relies on a lot of off-speed pitches, big curveball. He'll add and subtract with that.
Grossman doesn't go, and Mauer strikes out.
And there's that curveball. Strikeout number 7 for Nolasco.
1 down. That'll bring up Sano. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. Here is Sano. He went right off the end of the bat to center field for a single his last time up. Only got as far as 3rd base.
Yeah, that was right after that Nolasco thought they had struck Sano out. Nolasco's high in strikeouts this year, 10 against the Oakland A's in Oakland back in early May. He has 7 here so far.
And with the base hit, Sano's average on the road again is 100 points higher than it is at Target Field. Talk about the pitching being better on the road than it's been at Target Field, and that's certainly been the case. But offensively, this guy's the poster child for better at bats, more productive at bats away from Target Field than at home. Ball 1. It just seems like on the road he's less pull conscious. And we've seen that with both singles and extra base hits coming more frequently to the opposite field on the road. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
A curveball right there in a fastball situation.
A high fly to deep left field. Back is Revere and gone. A home run by Sano, and the Twins take the lead.
Boy, you make a mistake, and that's exactly what Nolasco did. And Sano, that ball up, and his power generated that long, high fly ball for his 14th home run of the year, and the Twins take a 3-2 lead. So another curveball followed a curveball, but Sano at 81 miles an hour hits it high. That ball going into the bullpen of the Twins.
Now the Twins take a 3-2 lead. So the hit batter comes around to score. Sano right behind Grossman. Twins have a lead, and now Kepler takes down and in. Ball 1. Even when Sano is pull conscious, if you make a mistake, he can really make you pay. I mean, that ball was a hanging curveball right over the middle of the plate. And Nolasco's thrown so many good ones. Well, it's almost as if Miguel was waiting for it. 2-0. And Nolasco, self-defense, makes the catch in the flip. 2 down. Kepler with a one-hop smash back up the middle, but Nolasco picked it off, and that'll bring up Escobar. Escobar singled his last time up. $18 home runs now allowed by Ricky Nolasco. Here's a drive foul. One of the reasons I would like your record to be broken is I want to see the number of innings pitched by the pitcher who breaks it. And then when people go 50 home runs, that's a lot. The Blyleven guy, well, he pitched, what was it, 270 innings that year?
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look. I'm not sure. But
and then you won, what, 17 ball games that year?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe Nolasco will win 17. I don't think he's going to hit 270. So whether he or Mike Fiers breaks it this year.
I can bet you your house he's not going to hit 270 innings.
Escobar pokes it to right.
Get down.
And that ball will drop in front of Calhoun for a 2-out single.
Escobar picks up his second hit.
Third shot for Rosario to hit a home run for my prediction. And Mike Scioscia to the mound. He's going to bring in Alvarez, and Ricky Nolasco will give the Angels 5 2/3 innings. 3 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed, and that in a nutshell is how his season has gone for the Angels. Alvarez being brought in to face Rosario with the Twins up a run.
The part sounds really loud.
Oh my God.
Thunderous.
Like a rock and roll guitar.
Oof.
Because it's very loud, like.
How do I describe his power? He's stupid strong.
Crazy at all.
You can tell by the swing they make contact that right away is a homer.
On the field, he's a monster and probably one of the strongest hitters I've seen so far.
Sano's just hit his 14th home run of the year. He's got 43 runs batted in. The top vote getter is Manny Machado, who may someday end up in Cooperstown, but he's having a disappointing year so far.
Yeah, great numbers by Sano. And we need him to keep it going.
Rosario will face the left-hander Alvarez. Rosario, average-wise, doing much better against lefties than righties.
Alvarez, the only lefty in the bullpen for Mike Scioscia.
Ball 1. Rosario against lefties this year hitting .292. He's got 3 doubles, a triple, a bunt hit, a sacrifice fly, a walk. The one thing he doesn't have against a lefty this year is a home run. Foul. Out of play.
Alvarez making his second appearance here in this 4-game series. He worked here on Thursday night, came in to get the save, try to hold on to a 2-1 lead, but he ended up getting the loss as the Twins came back and scored 3 runs, only 1 earned off of them.
And as we pointed out the other night, lefties only hitting .186 against him, 8 hits on the year, but 4 of those have left the ballpark. So I'm telling you, Rosario is set up here to go deep. He has one in every column against left-handers except a home run.
Okay.
You played Yahtzee, right? You got to have something in every column.
So this is a call then.
Yes. 1-2. And people tell me that on YouTube, when you or I have made a successful call, they live on. But the 99% of the calls that we make that don't come true, no one posts those on YouTube.
That's a good thing.
1-2 to Rosario. You've heard of YouTube, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
1-2. Rosario almost fought to get out of the way of that pitch and made contact. Bouncer to second and a strikeout so far for Rosario. Got him on the outside corner. Rosario doesn't like it. The Twins take the lead on a 2-run home run by Miguel Sano, and it's 3-2.
Well, at least we're not on YouTube.
Or first base, whichever corner infield position he is asked to play, that bat plays in the middle of the Twins lineup. A 2-run home run by Sano, and the Twins now lead by a run. Barrios out there to at least start the 6th inning, facing C.J. Cron. Lifted to right. And Kepler with the catch. This I like this inning, or sending Barrios out there, because now he's got the lead, and if he's going to be the front man to this Twins rotation, he needs to come back after the lead.
Yeah, so important for Barrios right here. 93 pitches right now, 60 over the plate for strikes. So yeah, this may be his last inning, so whatever's left in the tank, you have to think, let it out right here. Duffy warming up for the 2nd time.
Mentioned that the Twins bullpen has had some chance to correct itself, get back on line after the dreadful homestand, specifically the series with the Astros, and there's an off day tomorrow, so it's pretty much all hands on deck. But the Twins have very high expectations for this man, and part of that is taking the mound after your team takes the lead in the middle innings and at least giving them 6. 1-0 to Revere, and now 2-0. Revere with an RBI single. Might have cracked his bat in the process, but if the Twins win this game and the score is anything close to what it is right now, 3-0, we'll think back to the damage control that Barrios did in innings 3 and 4. We could have had a crooked number up on the board, but Barrios gave them up one at a time. There's a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, especially in the 4th inning when they already had scored a run and then still had bases loaded. Got the strikeout of Young and then the double play ball.
3-1 to Revere.
You have to throw a fastball again here.
It's down the left field line, twisting, and Rosario with a catch in foul ground.
Yeah, Grossman did a good job.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Grossman did a good job. He was shading Revere a little bit down that left field line, and the ball stayed in play to where he could catch it in foul territory. He tracked it well. 3-1 fastball. And Grossman hustling over there, and right against that short railing, makes a nice running catch for the 2nd out. So Barrios did a good job coming back from a 3-0 deficit.
Pitch number 99 will be delivered to Chad Pennington. Fouled back to the screen. And while there have only been a couple of fastballs that have reached 94, 95, what started at 93 in terms of velocity is still there in the 6th inning. 1 strike.
He definitely has the arm strength.
1-1.
Change up right there, missing low. Well, you look per inning, that 4th inning is where he used the most, 27 of them.
Fastball missing inside, 2-1. Season high in pitches, 106 against the Rockies in the middle of May. Called strike, and it's 2-2.
Good fastball away. Couple walks in the ball game, 4 strikeouts for Berríos.
To left center, and Grossman and Rosario, and it's Grossman with a catch. 3 fly ball outs, a 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 really good innings for Berríos here in Southern California. Run.
Yeah, Twins took a 1-0 lead thanks to Jason Castro's 5th home run of the year. That coming in the 3rd inning. Angels came right back and tied it. Ben Revere with an RBI single in the 4th inning. And then Miguel Sano, a big 2-run home run to give the Twins a 3-2 lead. Great job of damage control by Jose Berríos.
Well, there are your stars of the game so far. Berríos on the left with 6 good innings. Sano with a big 2-run home run to turn the lead around. And Ray Adrianza will lead things off. New Angel pitcher coming in. Petit. Everybody else out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Petit's
is
been
right-handed.
Yeah, a lot, 21st appearance, but look at the innings pitched, 34 1/3. He has 39 strikeouts, only 10 walks. And 2 of those unintentional walks.
Strike at the knees.
Petit making his 2nd appearance in this 4-game series. He worked here on Friday night, an inning and 2/3, and relieved J.C. Ramirez in the 5th inning. 23 pitches, 15 over the plate.
1-1. And a called strike, 1-2.
Petit last year with the Washington Nationals. 3-5 out of the bullpen. 36 appearances, worked 62 innings. So a guy that you can go multiple innings out of that bullpen.
Adrianza fights off an off-speed pitch. Still 1-2. And that will spin into foul territory and beyond, back into the seats. MLB.TV Premium is back, and it is better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, and this is important, you get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Adrianza takes a call, 3rd strike. 1 down here in the Twins 7th.
And Petit picks up his 40th strikeout in 34 2/3 innings pitched.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier, right at the knees.
An off-speed pitch at 82.
Here's Castro, homered to right his first time up, then struck out swinging in the 5th. Twins starting lineup today without Polanco and Buxton. Castro to left, and a long run for Revere, and he's there. Out number 2. That'll get us to Brian Dozier. Brian's not had a particularly good series. Average down to 238, couple of hits along the way.
I was just going to say that. You got to get him going a little bit. Just 2 hits in 17 at-bats in this 4-game series.
One strike to Dozier. Just off the outer edge. $39,701. The paid attendance here today. They've drawn very well here, averaging about 36 a game. 2-1.
I grew up watching some of my first Major League Baseball games in this stadium. Angels came here in 1966.
Didn't look anything like this, though, then, did it?
Yeah, a little bit. It was open. They didn't have the seats. The big A was out in left center field.
Right.
They had no seats really out in the outfield at all. Everything was just from the foul pole, maybe circulating around to where the bullpens used to be, down into the corners.
Now, these would have been the Angels of what? Fregosi, Albie Pearson,
Right.
Rick Reichert, that group.
Clyde Wright. 1966.
Wasn't Daddy Wags out here? Leon Wagner, wasn't he out here for a while? Principally with Cleveland.
Rick Reichert was a big bonus baby back then that joined him.
2-2. Out of piece. Second foul tip that Gratterall's had to wear.
Yeah, that one hurts. Yeah, Will Little will take the ball out to Petit and hand it to him. Gratterall kind of bounce around a little bit.
That'll help. Two and 2 to Dozier with 2 gone here in the Twins 7th. Dozier strikes out for the 3rd time. 0 for 4 in the ball game. Twins have a 3-2 lead, trying to win this series 3-1. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, and here in Anaheim, our pleasure to bring you God Bless America.
Prior to singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, please join Christine Santa Anna in singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Break brought to you by T-Mobile. J.D. Martinez with another home run for the Tigers. Justin Upton's home run walked off the Chicago White Sox. George Springer hit 2 more today. 90 home runs for the Astros. And Nelson Cruz hit 1. There was some concern about his availability for the Mariners after being hit in the hand by a pitch a couple nights ago. But now the Mariners have won 6 of their last 7, and they're leading today. Tyler Duffy, first man out of the Twins pen after 6 effective innings for Jose Barrios.
You know, one thing that I talked a little bit about Ervin Santana. All 12 starts, you know, when a reliever was needed, they started an inning rather than coming out. So the importance of Tyler Duffy or any reliever to start an inning. Barrios went 6 innings. Now the 7th inning right now belongs to Tyler Duffy. You know, in that Houston series, it seemed like every time a reliever came in, there were runners on base.
Right.
You know, so that's tough sometimes for a reliever.
Duffy with a left-handed batter up there, working on the first base side of the rubber, and he drops a breaking ball over, strike 1.
I always thought relievers would rather, you know, come in like this rather than having to come in and having to make a pitch, say, right off the get-go. You want to anyway. But
Adrianza flips in time to get Young 1 away.
You take a deep breath a little bit.
So Duffy gets a quick first out. Gratterall will hit next.
Yeah,
now
Duffy,
with a right-handed batter up, we'll see Duffy move to the other side of the rubber.
Yep. Yeah, I talked to him in spring training about that, about why he's only on the first base side, especially against a right-hander, because of that good curveball he has and the angle he can create. So he does. He Right-handers on the third base side, left-handers on the first base side. And great angle right there.
And
home plate.
The angle is similar in terms of his delivery, similar to a guy who pitched here successfully for many years, Jared Weaver. He kind of steps across his body a little bit, kind of throws from a low 3/4. Twins hitters for years always complained about having to try to hit against Weaver here because the balls seem to come out of the rocks in left center field. Frank Breslow getting loose. Cole Calhoun would hit fourth this inning. 1-1. Fouled away. It will reach the seats.
Yeah, I'll use that word geometry, which I thought one of the classes I liked.
For one,
geometry and math.
I always feel a little uncomfortable because for one reason that the word itself is 4 syllables long. And you generally max out at 3.
But pitching is about planes and angles, and to move Duffy over, you know, creates a little bit of an angle, especially on that breaking ball like that.
Tapper to third. Escobar charges, digs it out, throws low, so no with a stretch, 2 down.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
2 down, and now Andrelton Simmons with the left-hand hitting, hot hitting Cole Calhoun on deck. Swing and a strike.
Good tight rotation right there because Simmons guessing fastball. He took not a very good swing at that curveball. Duffy has shown good control out of that bullpen. Only 6 walks, 2 intentional in 20 now 7 1/3 innings.
Tapper left side. Adrianza sets. Plenty of time, and a very effective inning for Duffy as he gets 3 quick ground ball outs.
Someone who does more game prep than Grossman. He watches film on every pitcher opposing team has before a series even begins. Then the day of the game, he's always the first guy to the ballpark, re-watching that day's starter, while also comparing it to notes that he's taken and collected over the years in journals. Now, when he's DHing, he will also run back into the clubhouse and re-watch and reread those notes in between at-bats. It's a system that he says took a lot of failures to perfect, but clearly it's working out. The one thing he won't do, he doesn't like watching film of himself against starting pitchers because it makes him mad, and he doesn't want to throw himself off, guys.
It is a game of failure, isn't it?
Hey, if you're not afraid to fail, you'll never succeed.
Strike on the outside corner to Grossman, 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch leading off the 6th and ended up scoring on Sano's home run. Third appearance this series for Keenan Middleton.
Yeah, he worked here on Thursday night and Friday night. Young man made his major league debut in early May when he got called up from the minor leagues. He's the first member of the Angels 2013 draft class to reach the big leagues.
Grossman entered the game 4th in the league in on-base percentage, a couple of points ahead of Miguel Sano. Check swing foul. And it's 1-2. Mike Trout not going to play for a while. He's leading the world in on-base percentage at .461. Former Twin Aaron Hicks. Hicks's teammate Aaron Judge. Then Grossman and Sano. But he's trying to get an insurance run here in the 8th. It'll be Grossman, Mauer, and Sano. Just outside, 2-2.
You see the good fastball right there in the upper 90s. Middleton, just 23 years old, makes his home in Portland, Oregon, signed by the Angels in the 2013 draft. 3rd round pick in that draft.
Grossman strikes out, 1 away. That'll bring up Mauer.
Middleton picking up his 15th strikeout in now 11 2/3 innings. So raring back and challenging Grossman with a good 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Mauer at the plate as the designated hitter, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. You know, I'm glad Audra brought that up about Grossman, and he's not the only one. I think by and large everybody, all the players, prepare themselves at least in a different manner than the way they used to. All the analytics that are out there now, and baseball, and I understand why baseball's asking the game to, the pace of the game to be picked up, not wanting hitters to step out of the box. But now, I mean, let's factor in the human element. We have all these resources for hitters, whether it's Grossman, Mauer, whomever, about what a pitcher's tendencies are on a 2-1 count with men on base, without men on base. Little things that impact the at-bat over the course of the 5-6 pitches, whatever. Well, a hitter needs time to process all that information during the at-bat. So to me, it's a little unrealistic to expect a batter to not step out of the box when he's filled with all this information that he's trying to recall to help him during the at-bat.
Wow, that's a lot. I already got a headache just you talking about it.
Well, you're not the only one, I'm sure. A liner to short, 2 down. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, we want hitters to go up there and let's go. Let's get the at-bat over with. And you want the pitchers to not spend much time. And the pitchers do it too. They know Robbie Grossman has this tendency to look for this pitch and he can hit this pitch here and that at-bat. Well, it does take some time for your brain to process all of that information.
I think Tony Oliva had it right. See the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah. Here's Sano. He saw one and hit it in the 6th.
He got a hanger from Ricky Nolasco and hit his 14th home run. Now you think somewhere in that scouting report on Nolasco that Sano saw a hanging curveball?
I think he saw it in sleep last night.
And he registered it in. I think his ability right there gave the Twins a 1-run lead.
1 strike to Sano with 2 down.
And his strength.
'97 upstairs and a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Young man Middleton has an outstanding arm. Sano swinging through that high fastball. Also has a slider and a changeup.
And 3 pitches.
Not today.
A quick top of the 8th with Middleton setting the Twins. Grossman, Mauer, and Sano down quickly, twice by a strikeout. Taylor Rogers will pitch next, and Twins baseball is brought to you by State Farm. Taylor Rogers hoping for a better outing here in the 8th inning than he had Thursday night in the 8th inning. Cole Calhoun will lead off the 8th here today, and it was Calhoun leading off the 8th Thursday. And Calhoun hit a home run against Rogers that looked like it was going to decide the game until the Twins got 3 runs in the 9th.
Yeah, Taylor Rogers did give up another hit in that inning. 15 pitches, 9 for strikes. Calhoun, I believe, hit a hanging breaking ball for that home run. So Taylor Rogers remembering that. Byron Buxton coming in, taking over center field as Rosario takes over at left. So Robbie Grossman out of the ballgame.
1-0 to Calhoun. And now 2-0. Calhoun hit 2 home runs against 2 different left-handed pitchers in that game. Mejia in the 6th, and then Rogers in the 8th. Trying to fight back from 2-0 now. 3-0. Escobar on deck.
Walks have not really been an issue for Taylor Rogers. Only 4 walks, 2 intentional in 18 1/3 innings. And you know Calhoun right here will have the green light.
3 home runs in the series, another one last night. And a strike, 3-1.
And you can have the green light, but if it's not the pitch to your liking, you stay off of it. That's a good fastball away.
Three and 1 to Calhoun. Escobar and Valbuena will follow. Now 3-2. Of course, Pujols and 3 other players are available off the bench. Mike Scioscia wasn't going to tip his hand, but under the circumstances, Pujols might get the whole day off here. It's been such an emotional ride for him, and the threat of him coming off the bench does exist. 3-2 to Cole Calhoun. Walked him And the leadoff man is on here in the 8th.
Tried a fastball away and missed away.
Calhoun can run a little bit. Now the tying run is aboard.
Well, 3-0, got it to 3-2, and missed with that fastball.
Escobar, the batter. Eduardo Escobar in on the grass at third base in the event of a bunt. Well, he'll back up. Escobar, the third place hitter, but by default with Trout and Pujols not in the lineup. There is strike one. Twins clinging to a one-run lead. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
Well, Twins have turned 2 double plays. Both those turned with Jose Barrios on the mound. 1 1/3, 1 1/4. Belial worked in last night's ball game up in the Twins bullpen.
2 strikes to Escobar. Bouncer to short. They'll get 1, but not 2. The lead runner retired though, 1 away. And Escobar, a slower runner at first instead of Calhoun. Valbuena due up, but guess who's coming up? Valbuena was the designated hitter. And Albert Pujols will replace him as the DH here in the 8th. On 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored.
As Pujols gets in the box, Brian Dozier still at second base. So looking at that slide of Calhoun, if he
and here comes Paul Molitor out to the mound. I think he's going to make a pitching change. But you're right; they were looking at the slide of Calhoun.
Right.
So Rogers issues a leadoff walk, gets the next man. He will leave, being responsible for the runner at first with 1 down. Take a look at Calhoun's slide here.
He went into the bag and slid a little bit. Well, it's almost what Machado did to Dustin Pedroia. Started an instant, but that's just a good slide right there. No intention right there. Calhoun going in hard.
It's the runner's job to get to the next base as quickly as he can, and so late slides should be excused.
Exactly.
And Molitor leaves the mound. Matt Belial will try to get at least the second out here in the 8th. home run of his Hall of Fame career. Today he's asked to do something he doesn't do very often, and that is pinch hit. This is his first pinch hitting appearance of the year. And Matt Belisle's job is to get him out, and preferably get him to hit the ball on the ground to an infielder.
Well, Matt Belisle did not face Pujols in his innings of work last
on the outside
night.
corner.
Matt threw 20 pitches, 10 for strikes. He did give up a couple hits, but no runs, making his 23rd relief appearance. Fastball slider.
Bouncer to third.
There we go.
Should
Double
be
play.
2. And Belisle gets the job done on 2 pitches. He gets 2 outs. And the Angels are done in the 8th, and the Twins still lead by 1. The 9th inning, hoping to take the series 3 games to 1. Nice job by Matt Belisle getting Pujols to wrap into an around the horn double play.
And Bud Norris coming into the ballgame, making his 3rd appearance in this 4-game series. He worked here on Thursday night, and in last night's ballgame, 2/3 of an inning, threw only 7 pitches, 5 over the plate. Retired Buxton and Dozier to end the 7-2 win over the Twins. Norris in his first season with the Angels. Last year spent time with the Braves and the Dodgers. Always mainly a starter, but now because of some injuries is the closer for the Angels. Mike Scioscia, I think, wants to keep this game at 3-2.
Yeah. No chance for a save situation anymore with the road team leading by a run in the 9th. Kepler, Escobar, Rosario due up. Kepler with a single in 3 trips. A little bit low, ball 1. Most impactful injury to the Angels in their relief corps. Houston Street, the closer, fouled off a leg, high off a leg, I think. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, fastball in. Kepler fouled it off himself.
Cam Bedrosian, also a late inning reliever for the Angels, trying to find his way back. The Angels are anticipating getting Bedrosian back before Street. One and one.
Norris with a good moving fastball, does a good job of keeping the ball down in the strike zone, going back inside again.
Getting a strike in there, 1-2. A breaking ball, 2-2. Now a one-run lead and a save situation awaits Brandon Kinsler. Got him inside. Same pitch that was called for the second strike is called the third. One down.
Went right back in there again, and Norris picks up a strikeout.
One down. That'll bring up Escobar, who has a pair of singles.
And Norris picking up his 35th strikeout in 27 innings pitched. He's allowed only 16 hits.
Escobar 2 for 3, and the average peaking up above the 220 mark.
Twins have struck out 13 times this afternoon.
Missing ball one. Looks like the Indians are going to win. They had a rain delay of nearly 2 hours, so they're just in the 7th inning there, but Cleveland's leading 8-0 in Kansas City. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Angels will come to Minnesota in early July. It isn't expected that Mike Trout will be ready to play then, so Twins might face essentially the same lineup that they have faced this weekend. 1-2.
Good fastball right there by Norris. You see Mike Trout. Creates a good plane, downward plane toward home plate.
Two and two. Just missed the corner, and it's 3-2. Very close pitch.
Escobar with 2 hits in a ball game.
A third hit, all singles, and a good at bat for Escobar, and that left-handed swing waking up a bit here this afternoon. I'll bring up Rosario.
Is this going to be another call?
Just going to say Rosario swinging like the weight of the world is on his shoulders here today. I thought this would be a good matchup here today, that he'd go deep. So far, he's grounded out and struck out twice. But if he hits a home run here, I'd be right.
That's right. It only takes one good swing.
Ball one. One and 0 to the Twins now left fielder. He started the game in center. Two and 0. Got a hitter's count now.
Yes, he does. And Norris has given up a couple home runs. Must have heard me say that. Had to step off, regroup.
I think there's a real good chance that Eddie's going to swing at this next pitch. Fouled it back. 2-1.
Rosario usually likes to get the first base via the hit. He's drawn only 9 walks on the season. 174 at-bats.
And another foul. In addition to 94, it seems like that fastball kind of jumps at the hitters a little bit. It's exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you. Two and two now to Rosario. Runner goes, swung on and missed, and Escobar is safe at second, and Escobar appears to be hurt, and so does Simmons. A collision at second base with the players colliding about the same time the ball got there.
Simmons, of course, very, very quick as far as applying the tag, and they collided right there at second base. Simmons sitting up, Escobar still down.
A feet first slide, and Escobar has hardly moved since the slide.
See a little short hop into Escobar. Just getting tangled up.
The initial.
I think Simmons need him right there. By accident. Kind of holding that left knee.
It will be a stolen base for Escobar. Rosario has struck out.
Kind of bending that left knee back and forth.
And he'll be helped up.
Tony Leo out there.
See if he can put weight on the leg, and it looks like.
Simmons too.
Yeah. It looks like he'll be, both players hopefully will be able to stay in. The Twins have the luxury of having bench player today, Jorge Polanco, available yet. And Escobar's walking around and now is going to run a little bit, and that's the best news we could possibly hope for. There's Polanco. He's got a helmet on if he's being would be asked to go in.
Yeah, thumbs up he just gave Tony Leo and the Twins.
And Simmons similarly looks like he's going to be able to stay in the game.
You can see the left knee of Simmons kind of stopping Escobar in his slide to second. So Escobar be credited with a stolen base, the strikeout of Rosario. Escobar, first stolen base of the year.
And Adrianza will have a chance to hit. I don't know whether the question was directly asked of Escobar or not, but you know, a principal concern here is whether he'll be able to run and score from second on a base hit, and that's what Adrianza will try to get done on his end. He has one single and 3 at bats, but it looks like Escobar's fine, Simmons is fine.
That's good.
And we play on. Yep. Bouncer to second. Cliff Pennington is there. And the Twins are done, leaving Escobar at second. It'll be a 1-run lead for Brandon Kintzler in the bottom of the ninth. 2. They started the day 4 games above the 500 mark, and all of it and some more can be explained away with better performance in 1- and 2-run games. This year the Twins are 14-8 in close ball games. Last year 27-48. And they'll try to pick up another 1-run win here with Kinsler on the mound. Mauer in the game at first base, with Sano sent across the diamond to play third base. And Brandon Kinsler trying to pick up the save and pick up a series win for the Twins.
Well, he picked up the save here on Thursday night in the 4-2 win over the Angels, his 14th of the year. Retired all 3 batters he was asked to get out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Making his 24th relief appearance, looking for save number 15.
C.J. Cron, Ben Revere, Cliff Pennington due up. Inside, ball 1. Cron on the day 1 for 3, a single and 2 flyouts to Max Kepler in right. Way out in front, 1-1. Down the line, but foul, and it might have cracked his bat.
Yeah, nice play by the ball boy down that line. Leaping catch.
Kinsler ran that fastball in, and Cron cracked his bat.
Yeah, watch this ball boy right here. Get up high.
With the decency, I'm sure, to hand the baseball to the fan who's going to catch it anyway, right?
Well, you never know. I mean, you know, maybe some little kid was there.
Yeah.
Help save somebody from getting hurt.
1-2 to C.J. Cron. That's to center. Buxton running over to the gap, just galloping over to make the catch, 1 away.
Big first out right there, because Cron does have some pop in his bat. They pitched him inside, and he kind of inside out at that. The speedy Buxton in the center field.
1 down, and now Ben Revere. Revere with an RBI single and 3 trips. Over the inside corner, strike 1.
Kinsler with that good moving fastball. He's got some sink on it, a slider and a changeup. Straight over the top. Slider right there, misses down and in.
1-1.
Kinsler last year put into that save situation, picked up 17 saves in 20 save opportunities.
And a base hit to left. And Revere keeps the game alive, certainly, with his speed at first base. Becomes a threat in a 1-run ball game. Cliff Pennington will hit next.
Oh, we saw Ben Revere do this when he was with the Twins. You leave a fifth pitch up, and he's not going to try to pull it. He just went with it and picked up his 2nd hit of the ball game. So the speedy Revere at first base.
After the game, the Twins go to Seattle.
Off day tomorrow. And Hector Santiago will start game 1 of that 3-game series against James Paxton.
I think the Twins announced today that Santana's going to come back and pitch the finale in Seattle, and Gibson's going to pitch the first game in San Francisco. So we'll anticipate Santana, who only went 4 innings last night, pitching the finale on Thursday. Pennington, the batter. And Revere checked again at first. Kinsler's game is getting ground balls. The Twins got out of the 8th inning on a ground ball double play. Strike on the outside corner. Pennington's grounded into 1 double play on the year and 75 at bats. Part of Kinsler's resume of being a successful closer, he's got a speedy runner at first, but he's very quick to the plate. It's a slide step where that front leg hardly gets picked up at all.
And he's not one to give you a routine, too. He'll hold it a little bit longer. And Ben Revere, of course, good speed at first. And a throw over. Three for 3 in stolen base attempts for Ben Revere this year.
One and one. Half swing and strike 2.
Good slider right there. Pennington could not hold up.
One and 2 to Cliff Pennington.
Going inside. Castro moving inside. And a pitch inside.
And he hit him. 2 and 2.
Back in there again.
3 and 2.
Alfredo Griffin, the first base coach, looking over at Ron Renicky at third as Ben Revere taking off here.
Castro will look into the Twins dugout here.
He'll strike him out, throw him out, end the ball game.
Gotta believe he's going. There he goes. Popped up. And Revere slams on the brakes. Sano, Adrianza, and it's the shortstop with the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up Eric Young Jr. Young hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Later scored in the inning. Since then he has struck out and tapped to short. I would not say that the Twins are in no doubles defense here. A double probably scores the tying run, but the outfield playing a conventional depth for Young.
Yeah, Sano still in, almost on the grass, still going to take the bunt away from Young.
Strike over the inside corner. But if the research shows that Young, as a left-handed batter, doesn't hit the ball over the 3rd base bag, why put somebody there?
Yeah, Buxton now taking about 5 or 6 steps back in center field.
We'll see whether the Angels are intent on sending Revere and a stolen base attempt.
You know, we get a great view right here. Jeff Pickler in the dugout. He's kind of moving now Rosario back a little bit.
Part of it, I mean, Young known more for being a singles type hitter. Hasn't shown a whole lot of extra base pop, although he hit a big home run here Wednesday night late in the ball game that got the Angels a win. 1 strike to Young. Revere goes, swung on and missed. Castro's throw not nearly in time. See if he came off the base. Adrianza says he went past the base.
That's why it's important for a middle infielder to keep that tag on the base runner. And the Twins are going to take a look at this.
He clearly beat the throw.
Yep. Head first slide. And that slide takes him past the bag.
I don't know whether that left foot ever came off the bag. We'll maybe get a view of it here. Looked like it did momentarily. Second base umpire Clint Fagan was right there, but he called him safe.
This might be the best view right here. Foot kind of going around the bag.
He's out.
Yeah, I think he got him.
Adrianza put the tag as Revere tried to retouch the base. So we think we've just witnessed the end of the game. Twins players are clapping on the field. Rosario is headed over to Buxton to do the outfielder bump.
Well, the right foot was on the bag and it came off, and then he tried to keep that left foot on the bag.
But you can see him clearly trying to put the left foot back on the bag, and he hit Adrianza's glove before the base.
Again, the importance of a middle infielder to keep that tag near that potential base stealer.
This is the definitive angle.
Yep. See the right foot on the bag. Now it leaves the bag. And then right there got the shin, and the call went the Twins' way.
Call is overturned, and the Twins have a really good series here in Southern California, taking 3 out of 4. Tom Hanneman, the Twins will head to Seattle. They'll enjoy the off day, and they will enjoy it as a first-place ball club.